Hi guys, and happy Saturday. Hope you're having a beautiful Saturday. Today I decided to pull out some DVDs about record collecting and some other recommended DVDs that you might not have seen before. And we had two very spring-like warm days, but we're having a big storm coming tonight starting around 4 or 5 o'clock. So perfect day for movies. Perfect evening for movies, let's say. So I'm going to share some of those with you. In the background, we're playing the William Ackerman Passages that I showed you yesterday. Really beautiful record, very peaceful background music. And with the impending storm, we are drinking a limited release Jolly Traveler Winter Shandy. This is delicious. This has orange in it also, but it has other things too. It was very interesting when pomegranate. Oh, pomegranate and holiday spices. Oranges, pomegranate, and holiday spices. The pomegranate is what did it for me, because pomegranate is so good. And in this shandy, it's amazing. So, all right, let's start with movies about record collecting. This one is not exactly about record collecting, but if you are interested in music history and if you love 78s, this is a beautiful film. It's called Songcatcher, and this is about a lady who went into the I think it was, I don't remember now, but the Appalachians, I want to say, to record the local music, and it's really great. This was so much fun. You see the beautiful phonograph in here that she travels with, that she records when they record it into the horn. Beautiful stuff. Highly recommended. Alright, some of my very favorites here. We have, of course, the classic Desperate Man Blues, Discovering the Roots of American Music. This is a beautiful film. Any collector of 78s that has never seen this really needs to. This is a great one. Okay, this is the one about Joe Bussard. Okay, this is such a great film, and Bussard is probably the greatest 78 collector in the world. So, highly recommend that. The Search for Robert Johnson, another really magical one. This is the one I was thinking of, trying to think of the guy. He is the son of a famous blues guitarist. I'm really bad at names, so, but I don't find it very easily here, so, but it's really great. I mean, he goes looking all through the little towns to find people that maybe knew of or knew Robert Johnson. This is just a great bit of history. This is really great. In the end, you find that it's claimed that Robert Johnson is buried in 2 different places, so nobody really knows where he is now. For the Record, a film by Leah Beale. This is a must also for 78 collectors. This one has the one and only Kurt Knock in it, as well as so many very well-known 78 collectors. This is a really great one, and I think you could actually still buy this from Kurt Knock at 78rpm.com. Knox, the great Knock and his auctions. The most recent ones I got, Records Collecting Dust. This is such a great, I really enjoyed this. This one had Jello Biafra and some really great record collectors. This one, I highly recommend. This is my kind of music. A lot of it is in here. A lot of stuff that I would go for is in here. And just really great. Records Collecting Dust. Beautiful stuff. Then we got I Need That Record, the death or possible survival of the independent record store. And the thing with this one is, this is about the independent record stores and how they struggle. And it's really excellent. Really, really good. Keep your local record stores alive by frequenting them. This is one of my favorites of all time, being a crazy Christmas and holiday record collector of all genres, of all eras. This is amazing. This is Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree at 33 1/3 RPM. Jingle Bell Rocks. This is great, all about collecting Christmas. Jello Biafra shows up in this one too. Very, very fun. Just love it. Alright, then we got some fun recommendations here. If you are a fan of the Sideshow like I am, we have Sideshow, Alive on the Inside, narrated by Jason Alexander. Great documentary on the Circus Sideshow, which of course barely exists anymore. It does not exist in the way it was originally intended. Now it's just really sword swallowers, fire eaters, things like that, tattooed people. Not like it used to be, and this is an awesome thing. This is very, very interesting for those of you that are fans of Zappa. Just a great thing, from straight to bizarre. This is about the Bizarre record label, the forming of the Bizarre record label, and this has Zappa, Beefheart, Alice Cooper, and LA's Lunatic Fringe, like the GTOs, and just a great film, very interesting film. Highly, highly recommend this one. Then we got two films on the Theremin. Very interesting. You know, I love the Theremin. This is on Avant-Garde Cinema. This is Theremin, An Electronic Odyssey. Beautiful stuff. And there's Theremin himself on the cover. Very beautiful. Don't want to glare on it. And the other one is the great Clara Rockmore, Mastering the Theremin. This goes with the album, the Clara Rockmore album that was so hard to find. And I was able to grab the DVD also. Yeah, DVD also. Very, very interesting. She was amazing. Then we got a couple of things here for people who are into the atomic era and tiki culture and things like that. Here we have a Tiki Mentary, In Search of the Lost Paradise. This is an awesome film for those that love tiki. This shows a lot of the now defunct tiki bars and a lot of tiki decor. Just a beautiful film. Loving that. I have two here for the atomic lover of atomic era. We have Retro Futurism. Very, very fun. Some of these might be a little obscure, but you might try Amazon, you might try eBay, because I believe this Retro Futurism came from eBay. And the other one is The Atomic Home, Life in the 50s. This is very, very interesting too. Very fun. I just love looking at all the old kitchen stuff and what was modern then, you know. Very, very fun. One of my favorites, just crazy stuff. And if you love cartoon art, if you love art at all, especially cartooning art, like Mad Magazine artists were great, weren't they? They were so great. Just great stuff. This is crazy. This is called God's Cartoonist, and this is about Jack Chick, the comic crusade of Jack Chick, a documentary by Kurt Kernsteiner. Offensive, hilarious, inspirational, and frightening. Jack Chick, crazy, right-wing nut of a Christian who did these horribly offensive and racist and homophobic comics in little religious tract books, and just handed them out for free. Left them on park benches, left them in subways, left them in bathrooms. millions of these things had been given out over the years. And just fascinating, absolutely fascinating. They're so off the wall that they're amazing. You know what I mean? And I have a very large collection of them. And it wasn't because someone ever handed me one. I had never seen one before. I saw this documentary, went on eBay, and there was a guy selling big sets of Chick tracts. And just incredible. There was I think the Chick tracts came with all kinds of fun stuff too. There was a CD talking to Jack Chick and everything, because he was never seen in public. He was never allowed his image to be seen in public. So very, very interesting. But honestly, if you're a fan of cartoon art, you gotta check out Jack Chick. This is God's cartoonist. Very, very fun. Psycho. All right. Another favorite, I want to call it outsider, let's say, of mine is the great Popcorn Sutton, famous for his bootleg moonshine. And bootleg, is that what they call it? Yeah, bootleg moonshine. He was a very, very famous moonshiner. And his stuff was, people came from all over to get his moonshine. And eventually, he did get busted, and rather than go to jail, he was already old and sick, rather than go to jail, he killed himself. So, very sad. They could have just left him alone. If you watch this film, you'll see he really wasn't hurting anybody by what he was doing. And just an awesome guy. Really fun. Oh, another great outsider. One of my favorites. William S. Burroughs, A Man Within. This is another great documentary on a great person. This is just so much fun. Let's see. It is all either blood-chilling or hilarious. A very different portrait of Burroughs reveals an emotional life that was often kept under wraps. Just a great, great film. Then I have a couple for the hot rod enthusiasts here. The great Tales of the Rat Fink, Ed Big Daddy Roth. This is the legend in the world's greatest custom car builder, Ed Big Daddy Roth. Of course, just, I mean, he needs no introduction. Ed Big Daddy Roth was amazing. And I knew about him growing up as a little girl because my dad was into him. And we were always at the car shows. My dad was a custom car builder and expert. And a lot of these guys and the art of these guys, this kind of people like Big Daddy, were at all the car shows. So this is really, really good for people that love hot rod culture. Then we have hot rods, rat rods, and custom culture back from the dead. Of course, rat rods are what we're into. We really love the whole rat rod, psychobilly, tattoo culture thing, and things like Rust Riot. Just great. Hot Rod Hoedown, another great, put on by my friend Professor Ouch. Just great stuff. So this is really fun for the rat rod fanatic. Then we got The Car That Ate My Brain, the history of the world's most famous hot rod. This is also a Big Daddy Roth film. Very, very good stuff. Just so interesting. Another, for the circus fan and sideshow fan, this is American Carny True Tales from the Circus Sideshow. Another great one. Really great. Documentaries are my favorite thing to watch. If I have a choice, if I'm not in the mood for a particular movie, particular film, I will always go for a documentary. I just love them. I'd rather learn and see for, reality than a story for the most part. Okay, and this one is great for those of you that are fascinated by Dia de los Muertos and that beautiful Mexican holiday that celebrates the dead. And here we have the Day of the Dead, a celebration of family and life. This goes all into the Dia de los Muertos celebration. How beautiful it is when all the lights in the cemetery, all the candles in the cemetery are lit up, and the altars that they make, the big ornate altars with the statues and the milagros and the sugar skulls. Just fascinating stuff. So those are my recommendations for oddball, for the most part, documentaries that maybe you have never seen before. And I recommend every one of them, but especially the ones on record collecting. Those are so fascinating. Just so much fun to hear people talk about why they collect and what they collect, and just very, very, very interesting. So anyway, I am in the music room today to give you a little bit of a different background so you don't have to see the same thing over and over. And sitting on my new little stool. I love my piano stool that I sit on out there. It's so comfortable. This one's nice and sturdy though, and I think it's a perfect little stool. So that's about it. That's about it for today, guys. Like I said, we're going to get a storm. We're supposed to get a big storm, heavy snow at times, and so it's the perfect night to stay in, have a winter shandy, and watch some documentaries. So I hope you're all having a magical, mystical, musical Saturday. I'll talk to you all very soon. I love you all. Mwah. I started tinking up my new hat, so I'll put a picture of that right here for you. This way you can see what I've done to it so far. I put a big band of velvet and just having lots of fun with it. So talk to you later.